Hiya folks, Simon here, welcome back to Final Fantasy VIII, and today we're going to continue on our mission of completing the side quest, the Queen of Cards. And it is a lengthy one, this isn't it? Right, so if you've been following along with my guide, and I presume you have up until this point, if not then please do check out the previous videos, then you should have the Alexendar card, and we're going to go and lose that to the Queen. But before we do that, there's one more thing which we still need to do from before, and that is to win the Chicobo card back. Now, we did lose this previously to the Queen, and in order to get it back, we have to battle her son, who is the little boy sitting down in the room with the old man, the artist's house. Now, we have battled him before, and we have won cards back from him before, so that shouldn't be a new thing for you. You might have already done that, and that's absolutely fine if you have got that card back. In any case, go ahead and battle him and win the card. But before you do so, just check the rules, because I didn't actually notice for me when I did this, I recorded this from footage from my live stream, that he actually had the direct trade rule. Now, direct is a nuisance of a trade rule because regardless of who wins or loses, what it means is that whichever cards got turned around during the game, those cards are going to go to the player that turned them. So if you do have the direct trade rule and you want to play with it for whatever reason, make sure that none of your rare cards get turned by the opponent, because even if you win the match, they're still going to be taken at the end of the game, which is really annoying. Fortunately for me, in this case, I was able to just go ahead and turn the Chicobo card and not lose any of my own cards, so it didn't really make any difference. But you can, while the Queen's in the region, get rid of the direct rule by making sure that you just keep choosing to battle and then refusing to play, quitting out of the card game before playing with any of the people that will play cards in the region until eventually they pick another rule. Just don't choose the all rule either if you don't want it to degenerate into the direct rule, because it can do that. But difference or one are both absolutely fine. Anyhow, the idea here, of course, is just to win the Chocobo thingy card that you can see being played, and then we can go back to the Queen of Cards in order to win the next card. Or sorry, to lose the next card, I should say. Now, we're going to be losing the aforementioned Alexendar card to the Queen in Dolit, so make sure you save your game and reset in order to reset the RNG, so quit and reload. Thanks, by the way, to Renoa pointing out the method of actually forcing the Queen to move to Balam, which is pretty much where we want to move her at this point. Now, if you don't have the Alexendar card, you can pick that up from Piet at the crash site, so long as you're playing on Disc 3, of course. And when you do choose to play the Queen, make sure you reject her offer to play 3 times and then select to play her on the 4th. That will, as I say, just go ahead and make sure that once we have lost the Alexendar card to her, she's going to move to Balam. If she's not going to move to Balam, then I think the other place she would go to is Galbadia. But as I say, that's not what we want at this time. So go ahead and select the Alexendar card along with a whole bunch of nonsense. Obviously, you need to lose to her, and that can actually be a challenge, because she is a terrible card player. For the so-called Queen of Cards, she doesn't not really play good cards, I'll tell you that. Look at this junk she's got here. Well, anyway, do your best to lose. It shouldn't be too much of a challenge, but if anything goes wrong, then you can just replay her, of course. Just bear in mind, it's probably a good idea if you do not lose and have to replay her to reset your save game, just to make sure that the RNG is where you need it so that she will move to Balam. Yeah, that's pretty much all we need to do. She can take it, and then we'll see where she goes next, which, as I say, should be Balam because we did that little trick. Just make sure you speak to her after. She'll tell you where then. Yep, Balam, perfect. That's just what we wanted. And now we only have to lose one more card to her, and then we can go and get our card reward for this quest at last. So we'll leave that for the next episode. Thanks for stopping by today, guys. I hope you've enjoyed watching, and I hope the Queen of Cards side quest is going well for you. I know it can be a bit of a nuisance at times, but do come back next time. We'll carry on with this one, and I'll see you then. Goodbye.